A great deal has changed in New Orleans since 1967. New skyline, new stadium, and of course plenty of new Mardi Gras stories. But one thing has sadly stayed the same year after year. Loyal fans of the Saints have seen 18 seasons of football come and go, and not once have their heroes posted a winning record. Oh, they've come close in 1979 and 1983, but mostly it's been the dark ages for staunch Grid fans in the Crescent City. 2 weeks ago, the Saints were tantalizingly close. At 6-5, things looked promising for achieving that winning record, and an autograph of Dave Wilson, who might have become the first man to quarterback New Orleans to a winning season, took on great value. But tough defeats to the Rams and Patriots now make it imperative that the Saints win today. Otherwise, the best they'll be able to do is to finish at 500. One man who should be a major contributor is running sensation Rueben Mayes, who has already rushed for 1,000 yards and is the odds-on favorite to win NFL Rookie of the Year honors. Today, he'll have to do it against a team that has a history of winning but hasn't been very successful in 1986. Don Shula's Miami Dolphins are 6-7 and just about out of the playoff picture. They also need a victory today if they have hopes of achieving a winning record themselves. So a little bit of history is at stake today. As the Yuletide season approaches, all any of Santa's Saints helpers want for Christmas is a 9-7 record. No other team in the NFL has gone their entire existence without a winning season. If New Orleans could pull that off, it would be something to sing about, an achievement with which to deck the halls of the Superdome. From New Orleans, it's the Dolphins and the Saints on the NFL Game of the Week. Saints All-Pro linebacker Ricky Jackson leads one of the league's toughest run defenses, and he and his pals showed just how tough that defense could be on the game's first series. Dolphin backs took their lumps, then returned the favor with number 27 Lorenzo Hampton leading the way. Just to keep things honest, quarterback Dan Marino mixed in a few short passes, but this first drive really belonged to Hampton, who handled the ball on 7 different plays. Lorenzo then capped a march that consumed over 7 minutes, scoring his 9th rushing touchdown of the season. Hampton would be the Dolphins' key player in the first half, but for now he would have to watch as the Saints match Miami's lightning scoring drive on their first possession. Quarterback Dave Wilson fired sharp, deadly passes through the Dolphin defense, moving his team quickly into Miami territory. At the 20, Wilson entrusted matters to Rueben Mayes, and the big back promptly added a few more votes to the 1986 Rookie of the Year ballot box. The scoring run was his 6th touchdown of the season and kept Mayes in the same groove from which he finished last Sunday's game. A week ago, he had shredded the tough Patriot defense for 157 rushing yards, and he would do that and a great deal more today against the Dolphins. With 4 minutes to go in period 1, the game was shaping up as an evenly matched shootout, but the Dolphins were about to change all that. Having just sliced through Miami, a jubilant Saint team kicked off, but their soaring emotions were quickly brought down to earth. Number 33, Craig Ellis, took some of the wind out of the Saints' sails with this return. And then 4 quick Marino completions rapidly got the Dolphins into the end zone. Tight end Dan Johnson, number 87, hauled in the scoring pass, his 4th of the season, and Miami reclaimed the lead, a lead they would not lose again. This was also Marino's 34th touchdown pass of the season, and more were to come before the day was over. Numbers like Marino's have caused the stat freaks' heads to spin wildly, but Saints fans were interested in some numbers for one of their heroes, Rueben Mayes. Fresh from his earlier touchdown run, Mayes and the rest of the New Orleans runners were revved up for more. But this time, the Dolphin run defense belied its ranking as the second worst in the NFL, stopping the Saints' backs cold. New Orleans would struggle to score for the rest of the half, but the Dolphins would pile up points in each of their next 2 possessions. It didn't look that way at the start, however, as Marino had his first deep bomb of the game picked off by the Saints' leading pass thief, cornerback Dave Waymer, number 44. What should have been Waymer's 8th interception of the season was wiped out by a roughing the passer penalty. But soon after, Marino played with fire again and very nearly got burned. New Orleans' interception drop was a break for Miami, and breaks are something you just can't keep giving to a great offense like the Dolphins. Given second life twice, the Floridians took full advantage of their good fortune. Lorenzo Hampton continued his fine running with more of the 73 yards he would chalk up in the first half. And then fullback Woody Bennett, number 34, gave Lorenzo a breather with a tidy run up the middle. Inside the 5, Marino spotted another tight end in the clear. This time it was number 84, Bruce Hardy. And quickly the Dolphins had a 2-touchdown lead. Miami seemed to be scoring at will, and with the defense starting to play well, things looked very rosy. But the Dolphin defense has seldom been able to put together consecutive quality series all season, and they weren't able to do so when the Saints took over. A 45-yard catch and carry by receiver Mike Jones got the Saints into scoring range, but then the drive sputtered, and New Orleans coach Jim Mora watched with some disappointment as his club had to settle for a Morton Anderson field goal. New Orleans would not score again until the second half. Meanwhile, Marino continued to bedevil the Saints with a 14-play drive that featured short but crisp completions to his receivers. Lorenzo Hampton caught 7 passes in the first half alone to go along with his excellent rushing totals, paving the way for a 43-yard field goal by Fuad Reveiz. Nearly 4 minutes remained in the half. The Dolphins had their 2-touchdown lead back, and Don Shula couldn't have been more pleased. But Miami wasn't finished flexing its offensive muscles just yet, and things for New Orleans were going to get much worse before they got better. Trailing 24-10 late in the second quarter, the Saints needed to get a score before halftime. So they abandoned the running of Rueben Mayes and went to the passing game. The strategy proved effective as Dave Wilson found his wide receivers running free in the Dolphins secondary. But on this play, Herbert Harris, number 80, was stripped of the ball, and Miami recovered deep in their own territory, thwarting the Saints' scoring opportunity. Then, with just over a minute remaining until the half, another turnover smacked New Orleans right in the face. This time, Wilson's pass was picked off by a diving Don McNeil, number 28, and Miami's veteran defensive back returned the ball into Saints territory. From the New Orleans 41-yard line, the Dolphin offense had 54 seconds to work. That was more than enough for Dan Marino. It took Marino 4 plays and 40 seconds, and the Dolphins were in front 31-10. The 23-yard touchdown pass to Tony Nathan was Marino's third scoring toss of the half, and his 36th of the season, far and away the most in the NFL. The Dolphins were in total command. Marino had flawlessly executed a short passing game that had resulted in 4 first-half touchdowns. And as the teams went to the locker room, the Saints' hopes of their first winning season ever appeared rather bleak. But the Saints refused to quit. They began the second half with an 80-yard drive that was highlighted by the running of Mayes and the passing of Dave Wilson. The touchdown came courtesy of Mayes, who effortlessly raced around the left side, untouched into the end zone. Mayes, a third-round draft choice from Washington State, has burst onto the NFL scene in his rookie season. He has shown himself to be not only the best first-year runner in the league, but among the finest backs in the NFL, period. Mayes has carried the Saints offense on his broad shoulders in 1986, and this afternoon against Miami, he would take charge in the second half and vault New Orleans right back into a contest that appeared lost at halftime. Mayes' fluid sweeps around the ends and his crisp darting through the middle of the Dolphin defense would lead to a 200-yard rushing performance, only the second in New Orleans history. He would end the game with over 1,200 yards rushing for the season, a remarkable total for an unheralded rookie back. As the third quarter drew to a close, Mayes' running set up a Morton Anderson field goal of 29 yards that reduced Miami's lead to 11. The Saints were marching back. In New Orleans, where a winning football team is an unknown commodity, Saints followers had flipped this season with the arrival of Jim Mora as the new head coach. Mora has no doubt brought excitement to a hungry football town, but a winning season was slipping away. Now the Saints had to deal once again with Dan Marino and the Miami offense. Mayes' running had kept Marino off the field for much of the third quarter, but now early in period 4, the Dolphin quarterback again began chipping away at the Saints defense with a short pass. But the Dolphins soon faced a 4th and 1 at the New Orleans 36-yard line. Any real chance for a Saints comeback hinged on this play. The Saints held, and with 11 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, they had more than enough time to mount their comeback bid. Mayes had been the man all half with his running. But say, hey, this time Wilson went to him as a receiver, beginning a drive that featured more of Wilson's passing than anything else. Wilson's third completion went to wide receiver Mike Jones, number 86, who quietly put together a 100-yard receiving day. And suddenly the Saints were deep in Dolphin territory, with a chance to cut Miami's lead to a mere 4. The Superdome was rocking, the Miami defense was reeling, and the Saints were most definitely rolling. To finish it off, Wilson would find his tight end, John Tice, number 82, in the end zone from 3 yards away. And the Saints, with 7 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, now trail just 31-27. Now the Saints defense had to rise to the challenge. They had played effectively in the second half, shutting out the Dolphins following that 31-point explosion in the opening 30 minutes. Led by All-Pro linebacker Ricky Jackson, New Orleans forced Miami to go 3 plays and out. And the Saints were now in excellent position to win a game that had seemed beyond reach at halftime. Again, it was Rueben Mayes who began the offensive charge with this 15-yard burst up the middle, bringing the ball into Dolphin territory. From there, Wilson went to the air, hurting the Dolphins with 2 important completions, including this 20-yarder to Eric Martin, number 84. A minute and a half remained in the final period. It did not appear that the shaky Dolphin defense could prevent the Saints from scoring the winning touchdown, particularly when Mayes reached the 1-yard line on this run. On the next play, Mayes powered into the end zone, and a winning season suddenly seemed within reach. But lo and behold, a motion penalty nullified the score, and the Saints, with 1 minute and 8 seconds left on the clock, had to try and do it again, this time from 5 yards back. Wilson brought the Saints offense up to the line of scrimmage. The Saints had enough time to get in the end zone, but strangely enough, their offense lost its spark. On 3rd and goal, Mayes was tackled for a 4-yard loss, and New Orleans was now looking at a 4th down from the Miami 8-yard line. The chance for the first winning season in history was hanging on this very slim thread. Wilson's pass to Herbert Harris was incomplete, and with it, victory had totally slipped away. The Dolphins had somehow managed to hold on to defeat the Saints 31-27 in a game that proved to be one of the NFL's most interesting of the 1986 season. Jim Mora's Saints would not achieve the first winning season in New Orleans this year, but few doubt that accomplishment will soon come, and most expect it to happen next season. As for Dan Marino, he continued to pile up some very impressive numbers for the 3rd season in a row. His team may only be 7-7, but the maturing Marino has clearly established himself to be at the top of the NFL's quarterback class. Marino's patience in the short passing game was the key to victory in this game, and that means that the Saints will themselves need to be patient for yet one more season.